The John, Anik, and Kenny Florian podcast. John, Anik, and Kenny Florian.
I fucking love them. I can't get enough of them.
Let's hear that Boston next.
Big jab there from Duffy, and Frank Mir is hurt now. Down goes Duffy, out cold. Frank Mir does it again. Rock'em sock'em robots here. Oh my goodness. Hyperbole.
There are a couple of absolutely self-involved bullshit artists.
Here are your hosts, John, Anik, and Kenny Florian.
Yellow shirt day, folks. Producer didn't get the memo. 299 of these things. It's Sunday, May 2nd, 2021. It's episode 299 of the Anik and Florian podcast. If you're on the audio only side, time to go to youtube.com. Ken Flo, yellow shirt today. I wasn't going to change. We're matching.
This is how great friends we are, everybody. You wanted to know? We didn't even plan this. We didn't even talk. Yellow shirts.
Yellow shirt day. When we do shows on Sunday, that's right. Flex away, baby. When we do shows on Sunday, we're both sunshiny people inherently, not even so much, but it's good to have you with us. We have a lot to get to. It's always nice when we do a Sunday show because the fights are fresh in the mind. I went to bed at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, so I didn't see a second of the UFC main card until this morning, at which time I ingested most of it. I wish I had done so without spoilers, right? But sometimes it's a time budget thing, right? And thankfully for me, those last two fights did not take up a whole lot of time. But it was a busy week for Ken Flo with PFL off and running, and another show this week. And you are in Charlotte, North Carolina. Is that correct?
Yes. Right now, for now, and then a couple days later, I'll be back in Atlantic City.
And then you just never know. He's not going to reveal the zip code, but we're happy to let you know that Ken Flo is boots on the ground in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yes.
And so how was the PFL broadcast for you on Thursday night? I was watching the National Football League draft. I heard on our channel we actually canceled Remember the Show out of respect to the NFL. You guys at the PFL did not do that, incidentally.
No, we did not. But we had some great fights, man. We had some great finishes. Good to see some UFC guys go over to the PFL and do well, and that was the story. And man, had some great fights.
How about the fucking Red King, huh?
Rory, man, he's a killer.
Hey,
he's
by
back.
the way, in terms of the swearing, I heard from myriad listeners and viewers, and I appreciate your feedback as to whether or not we should cuss on the show. I don't want people turning the show off because of foul language, and that seems to happen on occasion. So I don't know if I'm going to clean it up or not. I don't know. I'm just saying your messages have been heard. Your children are very near and dear to me. And go ahead.
Yeah. If the podcast goes to television, then maybe we'll think about it. Yeah.
I consider this a TV show already. I mean, you just insulted our executive producer, Cody Merrill.
Yeah.
He feels like he's producing a television program. Thank you. So my t-shirt, by the way, is Boston Marathon finish line inspired. It's a new alternate uniform of your Boston Red Sox. So if you like the t-shirt, can't get it on Anik and Florian podcast, AnikFlorianPodcast.com, but that's the inspiration today. So speaking of inspiration, Ken Flo's new favorite fighter probably was one of your favorites going in, Jiří Procházka, bona fide UFC light heavyweight contender. He's like a wood chipper or something, right? I mean, you do not want to go near this man. I'm seeing all these professional fighters expressing fear on social media. A lot of weapons coming at you. Dominic Reyes, valiant in defeat. Great main event. Didn't need coffee this morning. What were your thoughts on what most people saw last night?
Dog.
Bro.
That dude. Listen, I picked him before he fought Oezdemir.
You did.
And I picked him before he fought Reyes. And these are two fantastic fighters in Reyes and Oezdemir. And they had a ton of experience fighting in the UFC. Procházka, not so much fighting in the UFC, but he's got a ton of experience outside of the UFC. And this is why, for anybody who asks me, hey, when should I go into the UFC? How much experience should I get? Get as much as possible. So when you're in the UFC, you are immediately ready to take on the best. And that's what Jiří has done. This guy throws so much offense at you, John. He's extremely exciting. Maybe not the most defensively sound fighter, but I think he will fix that over time. But if you're going to beat him, what I love about it is he forces you to have to go through hell in order to do it.
Yeah.
And he trusts his heart, he trusts his conditioning, and he trusts his chin enough to get it done. He is like a less crazier, perhaps more dangerous version of a Tony Ferguson, where he's going to hunt you down and he's going to basically force you either to kill him or die in the process.
Married to the game. He's a layered martial artist. And we had a handicapper, obviously, Dale Put Your Lip in here on the program. And he said a couple of weeks ago, experience is the currency in combat sports. And to your point, there's no overstating the value of all the experience that he has accrued. And there are guys who I think accrue the right amount, not unlike Adesanya, and then they come and they're ready to essentially be champion. And, Jimmy Crute's not all that far off in this division, right? He, a couple breaks here and there. But so it is a game of inches. And Dominic Reyes, I think, understood what type of fight he was going to have to fight. Right. I think he knew he was going to be donating some blood, and that was the way he was going to have to win the fight. He was able to get takedowns, but Yuri proved very strong in those situations. But Dominic Reyes, that left hand is potent, man. And
it is.
He had a lot of success in this fight. Dude, I mean, it's a game of inches, man.
Listen, how many times have we seen Reyes hit other guys with those left hands, with those shots, and they're out sleeping? With Procházka, it just wasn't the case. The dude was eating all those shots. It's not like Dominic wasn't fighting a good fight. He was actually fighting a really good fight.
Yeah.
Procházka just would not stop, man. He would not stop. He's an absolute juggernaut. And he was trying to kill Reyes. It's as simple as that. I love that attitude. I love his approach. He's a true martial artist. He takes this extremely seriously.
Yeah.
He might just be my new favorite fighter, man.
So the spinning back elbow to close the show, a nice capstone to put on all of the work he had done up to that point. It seemed like the knockout at that point was kind of an eventuality, and so much absorption on the other side for Dominic Reyes in terms of damage and the willingness. I mean, just a tough kid from California, man. Just a tough kid, skilled kid, former football player, obviously pretty decorated defensive back, but just willing to take a beating and nearly got it done, man. Nearly got it done.
No question about it. I think a lot of people, if you didn't already, I mean, you already had, I'm sure, a lot of respect for Dominic Reyes. But after this fight, an unfortunate loss for him, you have even more respect for the guy. He was fighting a great fight. I think that, to his credit as well, how many guys would have survived that first round against Procházka?
Bro.
Not many, man.
No.
Only the elite. And Dominic was able to do that. Big time kudos for him. I hope he learns a lot from this. I hope he's okay after that brutal knockout.
Yeah.
It's always very dramatic and violent when you see a dude get knocked out face down into the canvas.
Yeah.
But man, what a fight that was.
So for Jiří Procházka, I was about to go look up the UFC light heavyweight rankings today. I don't even need to. He's championship ready as far as I'm concerned. Obviously, Glover Teixeira and Jan Blachowicz are going to fight. Right. And it's not out of the realm of possibility that Jiří Procházka will be very close to even money. I'm not saying he's going to be favored against Blachowicz were he to emerge against Glover. Imagine if Glover is 43 years old fighting Jiří Procházka. By the way, that hair, they're fine with that. There's nothing illegal about that big sword I guess that's okay.
Yeah, I guess so. You can't grab it anyway. So I think it would have been interesting if he started whipping that thing around to hit people with it.
Yeah.
But I was surprised at how long that thing was, man. It was crazy. A little samurai haircut. It was like the little thing in the back there.
Yeah, I was thinking, man, that thing could be a weapon or could potentially be used against you in some sort of choking situation. I'm not your go-to guy on that. But when I play one-on-one with my twin brother, sometimes he's like, I'm going Guida, right? And he just starts just playing like a mother, right? Just hair flying everywhere because he's got his hair down his shoulders. It's like, dude, get this mop away, Kenny has a lot of experience, incidentally, dealing with that.
Yes.
Right? You just heard them break their nose and then choke them unconscious.
I remember actually bringing Benson Henderson in for that fight to kind of deal with that style and with that hair.
The hair, man.
Yeah.
The hair, making people put on a wig in training to try to simulate it. I don't even know what I was talking about, but I want to do a little bit of knockout of the year stuff just to throw out some names in terms of what Jiří Procházka did. But real quickly, in terms of the light heavyweight pecking order and where you see him in it, he just plucked off 2 top contenders in a very violent manner. So I don't know if you want to play matchmaker for us. It seemed like Dana White was willing to give a title shot to whoever emerged in this main event. And, this dude did with $100,000 in bonus money. He might be fighting for the belt here in 6 months.
He just might be, man. I think that I would like to see him improve his grappling and his defensive abilities on the feet a little bit more. I worry about him if Jan is able to take him down, right? Jan takes him down, it might be over shortly after that. But striking wise, this is a dude that can defeat and knock out anybody in that division. I don't care how much experience you have. I don't care what background you have. Jiří is so unorthodox and so potent that he will take you out if you're not careful. And even if you are careful, he can also take you out. So good luck.
Yeah, good luck is right. So fun to watch. My gosh, right? It's like awesome. You want to call people over. It's like my wife's disinterested. I'm like, honey, you got to come over here and watch this Jiří Procházka cat. All right. So in terms of knockout of the year, right? I was going to do a little poll question today for the Anik and Florian podcast in terms of knockout of the year, but then there were just too many names. If you see a tweet I posted out there, Ken Flo, I mean, you add this result to Corey Sandhagen and, a lot of the championship finishes like Dustin Poirier and Rose Namajunas and Kamaru Usman and Michael Chandler and Ngannou, yes, and Derek Lewis against Curtis Blades, which might be a good choice. Kennedy and Zechiku against Carlos Ulberg, Dan Ige in 22 seconds against Gavin Tucker, and your Max Griffins, Adrian Yanez. And then, Kenny, that first show of the year, I believe it was on ABC, you had that troika of knockouts, Alessio Di Chirico against Joaquin Buckley, the Leech, Li Jingliang against Santiago Ponzinibbio, and then Punahele Soriano against Dushko Todorovic. So, best of luck with your knockout of the year conversation. I'm just saying, congrats to all the UFC fighters that have just given us so much highlights and so many highlights, I should say. And I also stand corrected on Procházka in terms of the championship timeline. And it might be one more fight. I wouldn't mind seeing him in a true title eliminator that is called that prior. But September is the fight for Blachowicz and Teixeira. So you're talking 2022 would be probably the earliest for right. Yeah. Right. So
I mean, take another fight if you can, get a good matchup, train, get better, get one more fight in the UFC, maybe make it a fight night main event, and get ready for the championship fight. That'd be awesome.
By the way, if you like the Don't Text and Drive t-shirt at AnikFlorianPodcast.com, just wait until you see what Cody and I have cooking up this week.
I love it, dude.
Just
I
wait.
want one of those, by the way.
You may not when you see it's medium. Really? So so you're a medium, is that right?
No, I'm a large.
You're a large, right? So I buy a large and then I shrink it. Because if I buy a medium, there is not a lot of wiggle room, if I want to have a 5,000 calorie day or 6 or 7. So Giga Chikadze over Cub Swanson, buck 03 of round 1, TKO, body kick and punches, Giga kick. Fucking ow, man. I mean, unbelievable. Cub Swanson is about as tough as it gets. I did not expect this fight to be 1 minute. And Chikadze couldn't have done much more to maximize this co-main event showcase. What do you think of Giga's work?
Giga's awesome, man. I think he is so precise with that shot. Hit him right in the liver. Points those toes. Typically, you see that roundhouse kick come in the form of a shin that hits the body. Giga, of course, with that famous kick, he digs the toes in there. It's like getting stabbed. With a big knife, and he is so good, man. He's an absolute surgeon with that kick. And like you said, Cub is one of the toughest dudes in the UFC. He's not going to go down unless he's in some serious pain. And Giga just a sniper with it, man. Awesome fight. Not a whole lot to it. This guy, I think, is ready for a very high level fighter. Obviously confident. He's calling out Max Holloway, the former champ. So I think that'd be a fantastic fight. Whether Holloway takes that or not, I don't think so. But who knows?
Right.
Who knows? Holloway is game for any challenge. But I tell you what, that's not an easy one to pick either. Based on Giga's striking skills, based on what he's been doing as of late, it's all coming together for him, man. It's coming in the form of finishes. And I think he's on his way to being a top 10, top 15 featherweight for sure.
And we'll see what happens with Max Holloway. You have this delay with Ortega and Volkanovski because of the Ultimate Fighter and obviously because of COVID. So if Max has an appetite to take a main event, he can have any fight he wants in that division, not unlike a Dominic Cruz, right? Anybody would fight you. Do you remember the worst liver shot that you took, other than obviously that time you and I trained together and I got you right below the elbow there that one time? You went down so hard, but
I remember it well. Yeah. I'm just glad you didn't follow it up. It was brutal.
Right. I'm a true martial artist, I respect it all, man. The gentle art of jiu-jitsu.
You got to be ready at all times. I slept on you,
That's right.
Yeah. No, I do remember. It was a knee. It was a knee that I took. I forget who I was sparring. I took a knee and I didn't go down. I hit it very well. And, I think the rolls of fat kind of protect me at times, so it absorbs more than everyone comes in with that six pack and it's like, there's nothing, your organs aren't protected there. You got to have a little bit of a
I like the way
there
you're
to
thinking.
protect.
I like the way you're thinking.
No, but I remember it was not fun. And like after the round was over, I, took some deep breaths and I was like, woo, that was close.
Yeah,
thank God for the clinch. Yeah.
How about Giga Chikadze? What an incredible fighter. Perfect in the UFC, if I'm not mistaken. 6 or 7-0. I believe 6-0 at this point. And rightfully calling for a big name. And you got to think that he is going to get one. I want to ask you about Sean Strickland in the UFC's middleweight division. I believe he has competed at welterweight on several occasions, right? But another win here over Krzysztof Jotko. He's 23-3. He was in a motor vehicle accident, I believe a motorcycle accident several years ago that put his career in jeopardy, Ken Flo. But it's hard for me to think of a guy who gets less love for the overall body of work right now than him. I don't know, man. I was sort of going down a Sean Strickland rabbit hole before the show today. And I don't know, man. I think this guy deserves a big fight. I'd like to see him in a 5-round setting.
He's tough as nails, man. And I think you look at his level of consistency that he's had. He's fought some tough guys. He's certainly ready for the next level now. And Jotko's not an easy guy to fight. And I think that he fought him in the perfect way. He just keeps accumulating experience. He continues to get better. And he's a tough guy, man. He took some shots against Jotko, kept walking forward. And is one of those guys that is always going to be dangerous. And I think we're seeing a much better version of him at 185 pounds. He's not killing himself to make welterweight.
Cody Stamann gave Merab Dvalishvili about as tough a fight as he's had. 30-27 on one card, 29-28 on the other two. Merab continues his winning ways. That's 6 in a row for him at 135 pounds. We're going to go live with Longo. Hopefully Ken Flo can join us, but potentially not because of his travel. We are going to go live with Longo on Monday, hopefully around lunchtime. So we'll go deep on Merab tomorrow. But I want to get your thoughts on this fighter, right? Because if there's a knock on him, it's obviously that he hasn't put any of these 6 people away, I don't believe. But loves getting hit, loves fight night, maybe has the best pace/cardiovascular system in the game in any division. I thought he got tested in this fight. I thought Stamann thought there was maybe a chance that he had won the fight. What'd you think of Merab's performance? And ultimately, what do you think it says about his immediate future or his bantamweight ceiling?
I think we saw a Merab that is an improved fighter. I think, everything is kind of merging together right now as well at the right time. I think he hurt Cody a few times with his striking, which really wasn't the case for Merab before. He was not really a threat on the feet. And I think he's different because of it. Does he need improvement? Sure. There's a lot of fighters that do, but Merab is getting better. He's getting better as a striker. He's getting more comfortable in the octagon. He knows what he needs to do to win rounds. And man, that dude does not shut off for 1 second of the fight. I don't know if there's another guy in the UFC that doesn't stop fighting like Merab. It doesn't matter what is going on. He is hitting you. He is moving. He is trying to fight you and hurt you for every second of that fight. It's awesome to see. That's a dude as a coach, and Ray must be very proud of it. And it's why he probably has so much respect for Merab. But that's a dude that is going to fight to the end. He will never give up on himself. And I love that about Merab Dvalishvili. And that was a huge win over Stamen. That was not an easy fight.
Yeah.
And he was able to get the win over a dude who also comes from a wrestling background. I had it 29-28. I thought Cody won the second. Yeah. But awesome performance from Merab.
Yeah, his boxing looks improved.
It was a third. Sure. Sorry, I had Cody winning the third, I believe. Yeah.
So but and for Cody Stamen, right? I think he had the right approach in a lot of respects. He certainly went for it. Like I think when you're fighting Merab, you have to figure out a way to separate him from consciousness somehow, some way. Right. Even when he eats a shot, to your point, he really has this Terminator quality. Yeah. Ricky Simone is sort of the only point of comparison for me. I don't know, man. I've always said, don't want to fight the cardio guy. I think he's a real threat.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He's a threat. And John, I think the next phase for him to start to work on is just cleaning up his submission game, get his finishing game going. He's got one of the best in the business in Matt Serra and all the guys over there. Yeah. Start working on his jiu-jitsu, getting position, looking for his opportunities to finish. And if he gets that going, man, I'm telling you, that guy is going to be a big time problem and is setting himself up to be one of the best in the world. He already is, but I think that next level is going to make him that much more exciting to watch. And it's going to make him that much more of a threat against the other guys at 135 pounds. And that division is just crazy.
It's a great call. Offensively, submission-wise. Merab, give the Florian brothers a call. Kenny and Keith. Keith right there in Boston, too. Don't be afraid of Florian brothers. Know how to fucking choke you unconscious, Put guys away, man. I finish fights. All right, real quick before we get to the pronunciation of the week. So TJ Dillashaw suffered a cut in training. So this main event that was getting me and a lot of people in Las Vegas between him and Corey Sandhagen is no longer. We sit here Sunday, May 2nd. And our VP of live production, Zach Candido, my boss, has yet to send a fight card. So we are 6 days out. I'm not sitting on a fight card. I have a pretty good idea. I got my fight folder here ready to go. I have a pretty good idea of the direction in which we are going. But dude, gotcha. I don't have a fight card right now with TJ Dillashaw out. It seemed like maybe he was looking for a glue gun to try to fight, but alas. You hate when I say alas. I don't really particularly like it.
I like alas. I use it. Yeah,
it's a transition word, but people are like, dude. But no, it's really too bad for TJ, right? I think if he would have anything he could have done, glue the eyebrow together, he would have done to try to preserve this main event.
Yeah, it must have been a bad one, man. And these are things that happen. I remember there was probably like 3 or 4 fights in a row where I cut my big pointy eyebrow and fought with glue in my eye a bunch of times. It sucks. It's annoying. But after you do it once, you're like, I'm fine. But I'm sure TJ's was not, as probably small as mine. He must have had a really big cut and, required, stitches inside and out. But that's horrible. I was really looking forward to that fight, man.
Yeah. And if you did not hear, I believe it was reported on broadcast, Glendale, Arizona for the rematch between Israel Adesanya and Marvin Vettori the second week of June. Also, Davison Figueiredo and Brandon Moreno will run it back for the flyweight belt. So championship doubleheader, Glendale, Arizona for the pay-per-view that I believe is UFC 263. All right. Time for the pronunciation of the week as we call on our executive producer, Cody Merrow. Cody, what's your middle name, son? Cody, I can't hear you. What's your middle
Alexander.
name? Oh, Cody Alexander. Cody Alexander Merrow. Cam. Backwards is Mac Jones, new quarterback for the New England Patriots.
Yeah.
I'm a Cam guy myself, but
that's clever. It's almost like you knew that.
Cody, are you 1-2? Oh, you got a yellow shirt on now.
Well, so Kenny wears a large. You said you buy a large and shrink it. Right. I just buy larges and make them look shrunk. So
that's right. That's right.
If you flex, it fits perfectly. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, first time.
Cody, 1-2 on the year. Does that sound right? 2-2.
Something like that. Yeah. Right. I like 2-2 better.
Maybe we just.
I feel like the broadcast team kind of like was jabbing it to me on purpose on Saturday. Like John called and he was like, "Hey, it's Botello," And if I hear one person,
I did not. Did they go Botelho? I didn't see the fight.
It was bad. They were like Botelho.
Okay,
it was like the Modelo call every time.
Oh, so that might be even a third loss. I mean, maybe we could have our great intern, Casey, check it. Okay.
We'll see.
It's a good dude right there. And if we can't keep track of the pronunciation of the week without an intern, right? It's like unbelievable. It's just yes or no. Very simple thing. But thank you in advance.
Couple clowns in yellow shirts.
Really valuable internship here in terms of actually our intern is credentialed. He doesn't need it. All right. This man will face the crochet boss, Maurice Green, part of the main card this weekend. I don't even know the network this thing is on here. He's from Brazil. This should be a layup, Cody. What do you have for us on this heavyweight?
So I love the crochet boss, and he's going up against Marcos Rogério de Lima.
Marcos de Lima. Marcos Pezão de Lima.
I think he didn't even do the Rogério, so that could be completely wrong.
Well,
and
you got that wrong. Let me hear him say it once more.
Marcos de Lima. Marcos Pezão de Lima.
All right. So, Ken Flo, what do you have, my friend?
Well, I think what John is probably referring to, it's not de Lima, it's de Lima. Is that what you're saying?
Well, there's that. Yes. Yeah. I mean, like the de versus de, because for the De La Rosa family, it's not Montana De La Rosa. It's not Mark De La Rosa. It's Montana De La Rosa. And for Pezão, it's Marcos Rogério Pezão de Lima. Yeah, you got the day part wrong, Cody, and it's not Rogério. It is not that. So
the best part about that is, so Kenny goes, "Oh, so was there like one thing wrong?" And John goes, "Oh." Beginning at the top.
Here, and here. But other than that, you did it. You got it right.
Sassy John Anik on a Sunday. I will take the L and I'll get off.
Heidi Dean is the one who coordinates these pronunciations for us, right, at the UFC. She's an avid listener of this program. So why don't you reach out to her and get a name and try to throw it back in my face, right? Just say, give me the name, hold up the name and try to stump me, right? Because, again, I'm not like trying to be on some pedestal when it comes to this stuff. If I don't have the access to the file, I'll probably butcher it too. I just enjoyed the segment. Not trying to have fun at your expense at all, but
no, it's hard to.
But that was not a win today. If you were hoping to get this right and have it improve your Sunday, that's not your reality.
Well, John, I'll tell you, it's a win just to be on this program with you two fine gentlemen. So
that's right.
I appreciate every moment.
Thank you. The lifeblood of the program there, our producer, Cody Merrow. He could leave and literally this show would come crashing down.
Collapse.
All right. So we do have a UFC Fight Night coming up this weekend. And because the karate hottie Michelle Watterson has said on Instagram that she's fighting Marina Rodriguez in a main event, we are going to proceed as if that is your headliner at 125 pounds. Let's get to the main event challenge.
It's the main event challenge. Anik.
The time is most definitely now.
Florian.
I finish fights. I'm going to do everything possible to win.
The main event challenge. The John Anik and Kenny Florian podcast.
Well, you talk about the consummate team player. Is that I know in Florida, beach towels aren't hard to find. Is that what you're draped in, Ian Parker?
Yeah, I missed the email about Yellow Shirt Day. I don't know the yellow shirt.
Right.
There happened to be a yellow beach towel unused under the table. So I wanted to be uniform with everyone since you guys look so magnificent in yellow.
Yeah.
I want to, just want to be part of the team.
Well, thanks for the team spirit. Color Wars in 2 weeks. So get fired up. What temperature do you keep your swimming pool at?
Oh, I'm bad. I like it like a bath. I try to get it up to 94 because I'm
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, listen. Here's the I don't understand. See, people that don't live in Florida, they think it's hot all the time. You go in your pool whenever you want. No, if your pool is under 90, the water is really cold. When you get out, the air feels colder. It's uncomfortable. So I like to go in as if I'm bathing. So I get into that thing at 94, 93. But when it's hot outside, the heater moves a little quicker, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, that's how I am. I mean, I'm assuming by the way you were leading into that, you were hoping that I was going to say that because you probably like it hot also.
So I have a million questions right now. Ken Flo, our late great boss, Anthony Mormile, who lived down here before passing away, he kept his at 91 degrees, right? And it was a beautiful thing. And you're absolutely right, Ian, everything you said about the air, and spot on. My pool's heating right now on May 2nd, okay? I'll tell you that. What does it cost you, though? Is it like 30, 40 bucks a day?
That's what I'm
like
thinking.
That?
What is it, a day? Is that what you said? All right, so I think the electrical company down here is completely full of shit because I will keep that thing off when I don't use it and I get like a crazy bill and then I have it on and it's not, it's very, I don't do the daily measure. I will tell you though, I mean, if you have it on for a week, it's a pretty pricey month, you know, but like you got to put in perspective. Do you want to, I mean, my kids though are a little weird. My daughter will hop the fence, the baby gate at age 4, like a ninja, and she'll jump in, doesn't care how cold it is. Yeah. My son will do the same thing. I get my toes and I'm like, oh, they're fine. They can swim on their own. I'm like, this thing's only at 88 degrees. This is too cold for me. And I'm not even joking. I mean, or something. Kenny, I estimated when I lived in Vegas that it cost me about $30 a day. I don't want to say this too loud, but it doesn't seem to register too much when we heat it down here for whatever reason. But I'm with you. I like it warm, you know, a little soft, you know. Anyway, that's enough about that. Do you see, by the way, Ken Flo's in Charlotte, North Carolina now? You see that? I mean, see this guy. It's a beautiful thing. You know what? I just I see Kenny every day now, so I just assume he's living in the Ocean Resort.
That's right. Seriously. That's right.
Kenny and I are responsible for a new nickname of a PFL fighter I'm very excited about.
That's good.
The guy does not understand the nickname, which is even better.
I really think the PFP, the Parker Florian podcast, coming to this channel, it just has to happen so you guys can have even more time together. Ken Flo!
Only if we can do it from our bunk beds.
Ken Flo wins the week. That's 3 straight, if I'm not mistaken. 3-2 shaves the lead to 54-45 as we come up on UFC Fight Night. What is it, folks? Is it Rodriguez versus Waterson? I am proceeding as such. Looks like that's what it'll be. Michelle Waterson and Marina Rodriguez, 2 strawweight contenders moving up to 125 pounds. As of this taping, that is your main event. We've got 4 picks today. Ian, we'll start at strawweight. Amanda Hebos -165 against Angela Hill +145. Hill, the very recent win over Ashley Yoder. Hebos out since a knockout loss to the aforementioned Marina Rodriguez on Fight Island in January. How do you see it playing out, champ?
Still high on Hebos here. You know, that last fight she got caught, I think she will learn from that mistake. And I think Angela Hill, who fights a lot still with the ground game, that's where the huge difference is going to be. I think Hebos is going to be a lot more hesitant to throw and to play it safe to get back on the in the win column. So I like Hebos here at these odds.
Ken Flo, Hebos Hill, man. Who do you have?
I like Hebos here as well. Her last fight was the loss, right?
It was.
I think that she really took a beating in that one. I'm curious how she comes back from that. I think that she matches up well against Angela for the most part, but I think Angela is going to come out really aggressive early and try to test her. So I'm going to go with Hebos, but wouldn't be surprised if Hill won. But I'm going with Hebos.
All right, next up, huge fight at lightweight, fellas. Gregor Gillespie -175. Diego Ferreira +155. So Ferreira returning here, Ian, after what was just an incredible fight against Beneil Dariush in February. Old friend Benny Dariush. He had won 6 in a row, actually, before that loss. Gillespie on the other side was to face Brad Quake Riddell March 20th. COVID-19, of course, contact tracing on the Riddell side, I believe. So Gillespie now faces Ferreira. Gregor's first fight since his first pro loss, suffered at the hands of Kevin Lee all the way back in 2019. Ian Parker, Gillespie, Ferreira, 2 guys you know well. Who wins?
I think the way to break this down is to look at how Ferreira lost that last fight against Dariush, and that was the takedowns, that was the control from Dariush. You know, when you're standing with Ferreira, guy can strike, he's got power. I just think that Gregor Gillespie is a better wrestler than Beneil Dariush with better control on the ground, with cardio. You know, if this fight stays standing, underdog. You go Ferreira, but I think that's where his weakness is with the takedown defense. I think he's too comfortable throwing a guillotine out there in a situation, and I just think Gillespie comes out the gate, goes right for the takedown, and controls on the ground. So I'm going to go with Gregor here.
Kempfel, what do you think? Gregor Gillespie, a near 2-1 favorite here against Diego Ferreira.
This is an interesting fight. I think there's some value here on Fajeda. I think that, yes, that was one of the ways that Dariush won. I think the takedowns were a difference. And, Gillespie certainly has better takedowns than Dariush, but he doesn't have a better ground game. And I think that's where Dariush was able to kind of get out of some sticky positions at times. I don't know if Gillespie is going to be as slick on the ground and be able to do what Dariush did and avoid some of the submissions.
Right.
I like Fajeda here. I think Fajeda is going to go for it on the feet, and I think he's going to go for it on the ground. And I think Fajeda is an interesting matchup, and I'll go with him for now.
Fascinating matchup. Obviously, you reserve the right to change it later in the week, but dangerous fight for both guys. There's no doubt. Ian, how tall are you, my friend?
Oh, that's a terrible question to ask me.
All right, I was just bringing it up because I'm sitting on a goddamn pillow right now. So, how do I look sitting on?
It's like asking a woman her age.
Well,
I'm 5'7" on a great day.
Okay, so he's 5'6" on his driver's license.
No, I'm like 5'9" on my driver's license. Any chance I get to lie with
right.
You should see me in high school basketball. I was 5'10".
So, yeah, I used to sit on the 9X Yellow Pages. I remember back in the day, I was interviewing Brock Lesnar, and they put me on a wooden block to interview Brock. And it's like, really, I got to stand on this wooden block to interview Lesnar,
He's a monster.
He's a massive man.
Anyway, sometimes you're hosting a podcast, you're sitting on a pillow and you get a little bit distracted as Ken Flo's giving me all this great analysis on Diego Fajeda. And I'm sitting here in my own head. You're going to be 43 years old. You're sitting on a goddamn pillow, not saying the F-bomb right there for all you children out there, by the way.
And how short I am or how tall I am. Was that like a feel-good moment? Aren't you like 5'8"?
Oh, I'm 5'9", brother. 5'9".
Didn't feel that way when we saw each other 2 years ago.
Dude, I will seriously. I mean, I know you wrestled and all that. Like
Kenny, he's been training for 3 days. He wants to fight everybody now.
So for the record, I'm 14 weeks into my strength and conditioning program for the record. But that's neither here nor there.
Well, and also let the record state that when you come into this platform, you have to put in your name. Kenny says Kenny. Ian says Ian Parker. John says the Anaconda, John Anik.
Today it does. First time I've done that.
Anik.
So should we make a couple more picks? Should we do that, guys?
Yes.
Jeff Neal minus 180. It's the fucking Neal Bowl, huh? I just can't help myself. I'm trying to have fun with my friends. I don't know what to do about this swearing thing. Maybe our hand will just be forced if we get a licensing deal. Jeff Neal minus 180 versus Neil Magny plus 160. I guess this is going to be the co-main event, Ian. So we'll need a round, a method. Both guys coming off a loss. Jeff Neal to Stephen Wonderboy Thompson in what was his first UFC main event last December. And Magny suffered a main event setback against Michael Chiesa on Fight Island in January. Ian Parker, the floor is yours.
I can see by Kenny's face, he hates where I'm going with this already. I'm going to go Neil Magny by decision here. Oh, you thought I was going opposite. All right. I just think that with Jeff Neal, coming off a loss, he hasn't fought in a while. And what we saw with Neil Magny against Chiesa, it was the only way that we thought Chiesa would win. And that's just not Jeff Neal's style. I just think that Magny's cardio will be better. I think that reach is going to be helpful. He's not going to want to engage in a brawl. And unless Neal can wrestle Magny the way Chiesa did, which I don't see happening, I just see the value in the underdog. And I don't really remember the last time Magny's lost 2 in a row either. So I kind of do like the odds here on Neil Magny by decision.
All right. Cody, while Ken Flo's given his pick here, can you go to bestfightodds.com and see if there's any number on Marina Rodriguez and Michelle Watterson? I will proceed as if Rodriguez is the favorite if we don't have a number. But Ken Flo, Jeff Neal, minus 180, Neil Magny, plus 160. Who wins the co-main event and how do they get it done?
Okay, so for me, Magny's one of those guys. I never know what kind of Magny is going to show up for whatever reason. His approach in that last fight against Chiesa was just mind-boggling. I don't know, and this isn't necessarily a knock on him, but the way that he fought him, I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you clinching with Chiesa? You're giving him takedowns. You're trying to wrestle him to win. What is going on? So I don't know, man. And Jeff Neal, on the other hand, no matter what no matter what guy he's fighting, I know what Jeff Neal is going to show up. This dude comes to fight all the time, who moves forward. Despite getting the loss against Wonder Boy, I was still very impressed by his toughness and his willingness to do his best to try to adapt. I like Jeff Neal here. I wouldn't be surprised if you see him try to mix things up and try to look for some takedowns here against Magny. Not that he's got the same kind of ground game as Chiesa, but I do like Magny here. I do like Jeff Neal here against Magny. I think he gets it done. I think he's got way more power in his hands. He's got to watch out for that jab, and I think if he's done his homework, he'll find ways to get around it and get on the inside and score a lot of leg kicks. So I like Neal.
Jeff Neal, how does he get it done? You going decision. All right, there you go. All right, main event, or so we think. Marina Rodriguez, Michelle Waterson. So Waterson initially was to face Amanda Hebos. That was going to be Fight Island in January, UFC 257. Rodriguez stepped in when Waterson was out, faced Hebos, promptly knocked her out. And then now you have this matchup, and given the short notice nature of it, Ian, actually Ken Flo's leading the main event as the trailer here. Excuse me. So given the short notice nature of this main event, Ken Flo, it's going to be at 125 pounds. I don't know how that affects your handicap. I would also preface this by saying, I don't know where either athlete is. I don't know if Rodriguez is in the States now from Brazil. I don't know if Waterson has been training. So you guys are being asked to handicap this without a whole lot of information early on fight week. Ken Flo, lead us off. What do you have on the proposed main event here?
This is an interesting one. I think that Waterson has a great sidekick. She's got some, slick tricks on her feet, but I think what she needs to do to win this fight is pretty easy. She's got to put Rodriguez on her back. That's the way she wins this fight. And Rodriguez, I think, is going to have a big reach advantage. She's going to be the taller woman out there. She's going to be able to try to keep Waterson on the outside for a long time. I think if she's able to do that, she wins this fight. This is a tough one for me to call, but I do like Rodriguez here. I think that she will find a way to win this one. And it will be 5 rounds. Is that correct with these ladies, or it will be 5? Okay. Yep. Oh man, it gets even trickier, doesn't it?
Yeah. Since cardio.
Well, and we don't have odds. Is that right, Cody? Any odds?
No. So Rodriguez minus 155 or so, okay. Waterson plus 135, and we can adjust that accordingly. I like to look in an actual sports book and see it before passing it off to the masses. I like to look at, all right, if I click this box, I can actually play it right now. And I have not seen it in all of the different places where I place my bets. So, but yeah, okay. Ken Flo, I mean, we need a selection here. We need a selection.
All right, let me do this. Let's go with round 2 there. TKO Rodriguez. I might switch things up. Okay,
yeah, well,
I might switch things up. But I'm going round 2 Rodriguez. I think she's a devastating striker, man, and I think that height disadvantage for Waterson is going to be tough. But Waterson could definitely win this fight. She's got to take it to the ground, though.
Focus on the Premier Fighters League Thursday night. Is that what the piece? Professional Fighters League on Thursday. Joking around. And then if you want to change your selections by Saturday, you can feel free to do so.
All right.
Ian, just keeping you on your toes here on a Sunday morning. Ian, what do you think about this main event? And I guess I would ask you, as somebody who is constantly betting these fights, are you waiting for more information to handicap this thing? I mean, social media is a little bit of a lens through which you can gain something, but I don't even know, if either fighter has been in camp.
I mean, if you're telling me Rodriguez is not even in the country yet, that's
well, I know I'm not. I'm not.
No, I know. I'm saying, but if she's not, that's a factor. Like now that she may not be in her basement still is definitely a problem.
She could be in her kitchen or her gym. I mean, she doesn't have to be in her basement,
I guess that was a little bit weird, but yeah. That's
right.
Or sure.
As you were.
In the pool at 93 degrees, it doesn't matter. But, the thing is, especially at a catch weight, Waterson's already small for the weight class she fights in. Size is going to be a problem for her. And she's fighting someone, to Kenny's point, she doesn't get this fight to the ground. she's in trouble. We saw Amanda Hebos get into the ground. Rodriguez got back up, and then we saw her stop takedowns, and then we saw how devastating her striking was. I don't know Rodriguez knowing a 5-round fight. We've seen Waterson do it multiple times with a lot of output. I don't know if that sidekick's going to work in this fight. I don't know if that's going to save her. I don't know if it's setting anything up, for her in this fight with the way Rodriguez comes forward. So I like Rodriguez. Waterson's also very tough to put out. So I think if she's going to finish it, it would be closer to the 4th round. So I'll go TKO 4th round for Rodriguez. This is an interesting main event, but I think after that Hebos win, you got to think that she's putting it all together with the takedown defense. Because if she wants people to stand up with her, she's a problem.
It's a tricky thing because it just kind of came out of nowhere. It doesn't seem as though either fighter had any fight on the books. So I don't know. I look forward to talking to them over Zoom on Wednesday to have a little bit more insight for you. And we'll provide whatever I can over Instagram leading up to the fight. All right. On social media, he is at Ian Parker MMA. For our listeners and viewers who want to catch you as part of the PFL broadcast, where can they do that this week, my friend?
This week on Wednesday, ESPN Plus, and then on Thursday, ESPN2.
Outstanding, buddy. Great job. I love Ray Sefo. Don't get me in trouble. I'm just having a little fun with you guys. Okay.
I haven't even spoken to Ray Sefo the whole time yet. I think there's so much going on. Like I said, different experience. John, I give you so much credit for what you do. Now, even getting like the slightest taste of preparation and production. I don't know how you do all the ad reads with production in your ear. Because I'm hearing it when Kenny is doing it. It's crazy.
Ian, you do the exact same thing John does. It's the exact same thing. It's easy.
Oh, that's not even remotely close where I was going with that. I just meant for the little that I do.
I know. I was trying to break John's balls.
Yeah, no, John. You make it seem so hard, bro. You see how easy Kenny does it? It's like nothing.
I know. I'm telling you. Believe you me. Ken Flo could probably go out and have. Well, Ken Flo could probably go out and drink the night before, like a bunch of alcohol, and show up and be fine. I'm not good enough. I got to be a Boy Scout in my room. Yeah. So, all right, Ian. Well, appreciate your contributions as always. We look forward to the telecast, and we'll see if this is the main event that holds up for the UFC. Have a great week. We'll talk to you next week. We got a big one next week, if I'm not mistaken. Episode 300 pay-per-view week. Ooh. So we'll text you what color shirt to wear next week.
Yeah, I appreciate. Although this beach towel is a lot softer than I expected, but I'd like to, yellow surprised me. I didn't expect both of you guys to have yellow in at the same time. I get the Boston thing. Kenny, what kind of shirt is that? Is that a soccer shirt?
This is Czarface.
Oh,
shout to MC Esoteric and Inspector.
Yeah. Right?
Got me.
Let's go.
Got me.
So let's go.
I shall fade.
Hey, thank you, Ian. Ian Parker, MMA on social media. Ken Flo and I are going to do a track at some point. I mean, we both grew up in the Metro West pocket of Massachusetts. At one point, both thinking maybe we might be able to become rappers. Maybe.
I think we could do it.
Yeah. I used to have my mom drive me to Framingham to this. I think the store was called Hip Zeppy, to get my hip hop clothing, my maroon Jinko jeans that literally would fit a 300-pound man. What?
Yes.
Cody, see, 1970s, man. What of it? All right. Before we go, by the way, if you want to see Ken Flo, Thursday, ESPN Plus 5:30 for the preliminary portion, main card 9:00 Eastern on ESPN.
And I think we're on ESPN. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I don't think we're on ESPN too. I think we're on big ESPN.
And you're not going up against the NFL draft, incidentally, this Thursday.
That's a good thing.
So
yes.
I'll be in my room prepping. I'll be watching. And of course, the UFC Fight Night on Saturday, I believe ESPN Plus. I don't know. I'll be in the building, I believe, with DC and Dominic Cruz. But before I go, I post a little video on Instagram about those of us who work in MMA, who do not fight, and our collective appreciation for those that do. And maybe this was just one man voicing it, but I said we because I just want to say to you and to Chris Weidman and to all the athletes, when we have a serious injury like that, right? Like I sort of go back to my hotel and it's not like this festive night. It's like, man, I'm still making my paycheck. I can go for a run tomorrow morning. You know, my life isn't hugely impacted by the fact that Chris Weidman snapped both bones in his lower leg, and it effectively changes the course of the next 18 months of his life. And, you know, sometimes I post a video like this and people say, oh, it's self-serving. Like, that's not the intent. I'm just saying, like, I don't put that risk forward when I show up to the arena, right? I know my man Bruce Buffer likes to say we got to be ready for anything in there, right? But like, and I'm praying a brawl breaks out. Like, I want to get hit in the back of the head with a beer bottle. Like, I want Mexico City. Like, I want that to happen. But I just want to say, like, to acknowledge the professional athletes that, you know, with respect to basketball players, are not guarding a rim and really are risking life and limb every fight and every week. And, you know, it's just sort of voicing my appreciation. So if some people took that the wrong way, I don't really what to tell you. Came from a good, well-intentioned place, Ken Flo. So thank you, Kenny.
Absolutely.
So thank you for being such a great fighter and for putting forth all that risk so guys like me can feed my children. Seriously, you know? All right. So that is going to do it for today. Abbreviated episode. We will be back with you tomorrow, which will be Monday, May 3 with Ray Longo. We'll get his thoughts on Merab and Aljo, and we'll check in on Weidman. And next week, episode 300, hoping to be joined by Forrest Griffin, Chris Weidman, a lot of things in the can, and maybe a special guest as well. If Triple C will get back to me. I thought Triple C episode 300, that would make some sense. But John, I put together some special things for Monday, May 10th. And of course, we will get you ready on that day for UFC 262. Oliveira versus Chandler. With that, for Cody and Ken Flo. Kenny, any parting shot for everybody? You want to give everybody your new address in Charlotte before we go?
Yeah. Here's my phone number. You guys just hit me up if you need anything, have any questions. I'm sure it'll all be very positive and not negative at all. So. Did
you have any fans in the building for PFL or no?
We did not really. We had some, teams and stuff like that are watching and other people, but I think that's starting maybe next series of events.
All right,
maybe.
Well, as I said on pay-per-view about Joe Rogan loving pictures, I think the only one who loves pictures more than Rogan is Kenny, guys. So if you are going to an event, Kenny wants pictures. He loves germs. He doesn't want a fist bump. He wants a full handshake.
A hug, a kiss is preferable.
Yeah. I mean, he wants as much contact to show, so just his toughness and,
I can barely go to a concert. Like a lot of people, one place, like since I was a kid, like freaks me out.
Yeah.
But thank you, John, for doing that.
And if I could get a little serious on you, like just give the kid a fist bump, honestly. Like, he'll bump your fist, but all right, we got to get on out of here. 299 episodes in the can. Thanks to our producer, Cody Merrow. Thanks to Ian, for Ken Flo. I'm John Anik. Thank you all for listening, for watching. Tell your friends. And we just want to just continue to be here for you, week in and week out, and give you content that will always be free, no matter what. We will never put this behind a paywall. And Milicic, I love you, buddy. And, mass restrictions are being lifted, so you win. We'll talk to you guys next week. Yo, later. He's wearing some yellow, too.
There you go. I don't own a yellow shirt, so I got